Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's episode of Eat the Rich. I believe this is episode number 9, which means we're coming in on the end of our little season of Zweihander RPG, so thank you for joining us. I was worried there for a second, Masood. I thought we'd lost you. I'm glad that you're okay.
I'm here. You know, it's just one of those freak moments where your internet on your computer craps out, and you're like, huh, let me turn it off and on, and then it works.
Yeah, you're like,
that's it.
Cool, good. I'm glad that this is happening now
Perfect
when
time.
there's 12 seconds left on the timer.
I have the issue too. Sometimes my Wi-Fi will just be like, we're not working right now. We're just not.
We have decided we are not interested.
But thankfully my streaming stuff is all hardlined. So
yes, it definitely helps. But yeah, it happens to everybody. There's just no preventing those random little blips of things that pop in and are like, yeah, you're not doing that show you thought you were gonna do. You're gonna have to figure this out first. Yep. Well, thankfully, we do have Masood back, which is very important because who else would I inflict chaos curses upon?
Of course.
Masood, did you see the new fan art of Lucia and you fighting?
No, I haven't. What is this?
It's so good.
Yes, it's pretty good.
It's like medieval hentai.
Ridiculous.
It's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've retweeted
and
it.
then you lost me. Okay, I'm in.
Yeah. I retweeted. You should be able to find it pretty close to the top of my Twitter.
Content warning, nude ladies and gentlemen's, and the hentai.
Content warning everything.
Wow, this is amazing.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Nudity and tendrils.
That's incredible. Also, this long-tongued man and this. It is very Sandman.
Right?
Yeah. Which I dig. Yes.
I just appreciate that Clifford is also captured in this moment. Like just
happy about it. Honestly, very
really happy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. We've gotten some really choice pieces in the show so far. I'm very impressed. Yeah, there's been some really good stuff. There you go. So Blue Jay's got the link for chat, and I'll throw it in the YouTube description if I remember.
It's intense, but like in a great way. I mean, to me, I whatever.
Well, you're the one doing the punching in the picture,
right?
So it does paint you. I'm curious what happened to Lucia's pants.
Yeah, right. I where did all my clothes go? But it's fine.
I was trying to figure out. I was like, was she
nude?
Did she take them off for the arm wrestle?
Definitely not.
So
no.
there was an RPG show that I did for roleplay a long time ago, and we had some art done by Gears, who's a really great artist. And it was funny. I was teasing Sam because Sam was playing a character in that who was like a reserved, like kind of cold imperial like officer lady. And in the art, she was like a huge boob anime girl. And so when we got the art, I was like, man, Sam, your character's way hotter than I was imagining. And he was like, it's fine. Which
yeah, I mean,
it's
artistic interpretation. Like in Voidspoker's mind, Lucia has been wearing her underwear this whole time.
Pants on in that fight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you really have to, like, in order to appreciate the thick thighs, you've got to make sure she's not wearing pants.
And that's the thing about like fan art of a thing with no, like, if you're drawing fan art of characters from a TV show or a movie, obviously you use your own style and you adapt it, but there's no object. These are all shadows. So you get to just kind of decide based on what's happened in the game. Some of my favorite fan art, and I wish I could off the top of my head remember the artist, but there's a roleplay fan who does fan art, but doesn't bother drawing the characters, just draws the players dressed like their characters, which is really good. Yeah, it's pretty fun too. Yeah, there's been lots of funny ones there. So yeah, so if you're making fan art, definitely make sure that we get to see it. There's been some been some really good ones. Did you see the baby Jace from the same artist that did the Pixel Belvedere?
Yes.
Yeah. Animated with little lightning bolts. Ah, so good.
Amazing.
Yeah. Being able to conjure images from nothing is sorcery, which I guess Amber makes you a sorcerer. So congratulations.
Yes.
How's everybody holding up? How are we doing here? Another further week into this chaos that is modern life.
I think it's breaking some people. I told some of these people off air, but I went to go do my laundry today.
Yeah.
And I went in there and it smelled bad, and I was wondering why it smelled bad, so I tried the smell, and somebody or something took a poop in my laundry room, like around from a dryer, and it was like tucked away. And it was a big poop, so I think it was a human-sized poop.
Andrew, didn't you have a recent poop run-in too? Like, I feel like, I think it is. People are just losing their minds.
This was before the pandemic, and I was out and about, and I was taking the train home from hanging out with some people, and there was an elevator with an enormous Duke in it that I had to ride in twice because the next elevator that I had to take was out of service, so I had to go back down to the platform and take the train to another station. So I got to take 2 trips in the extremely slow, ponderous elevator.
Gross.
Man.
I mean, I've only run into bus stop poops.
I've run into Gen Con poop.
Oh no. Poops.
I was like, in the middle of like the convention, like the vendor hall, like the exhibit hall.
Oh my God.
Like, oh no.
Did a human do this or did like a service dog do this? But like a service dog.
Someone's baby.
Right.
And you hope that the baby is. You hope that the baby is wearing.
If you're in the middle of selling, pinup art of vaguely unsettling like women in fascist uniforms, and your baby's got to poop, you can't stop for that business. You just go hold the baby out of the booth, and then just return the baby to the booth.
Oh no! No. Yeah, I mean, at the very least, like the enclosed room poop is probably like a bigger deal than the outside poop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes you just gotta go.
Well, and so I was wondering who would have done this, who committed this, and I think
I love the idea of you walking into the room, everything going like black and white, slow zoom in on your face. You're like, who could have done this?
You got the Witcher vision going on.
Absolutely. There was no step prints of poop, so no one stepped in it on their way out.
So you believe
it made it a little more
scene. The poop was not brought here from somewhere else.
It was like, where did it go? Where did it come from? I think they're doing construction behind my building, and they run wires from there into the laundry room to like charge some of their stuff. So I have a feeling it was a construction worker who like really had to go.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, you know what? This is going to be a great story for somebody. And it was.
There you go. I don't know if great is the right. It's definitely entertaining.
Yeah.
It's type 2 fun. It's fun after the fact.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not during.
Oh, no.
Not in the moment.
I had to make 3 laundry trips and inhale it. So now this is my like. This is how I get my recompense.
Poops. I did the poops.
I also have a laundry related issue upcoming. I'm running out of quarters.
No.
Oh no.
And the banks aren't exactly available.
No.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Sink.
I have the ability
laundry?
to wash clothes in my sink.
Yeah.
So I have laundry soap that isn't like a pod. So I'll be okay, but still it'll
do what I do. Go to Target, ask for $10 in cash back, and say, "Can you give me 5 of that in quarters?" Because then it seems reasonable. They're not giving you like it's like, oh, they didn't ask for $10 in quarters. You just got to do it like at a couple different Targets.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as they're not currently striking, I think that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they'll be somewhere that can get you those quarters you need, or you can wait in one of those extremely long lines at the bank that go all the way around the bank several times.
No.
Yeah. It hadn't occurred to me until quarantine arrived how many people still do all of their banking at a teller window.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because every day it's just banks with lineups. I don't know.
The thing is like the least I have to go outside as possible is good for me. So like I've had most of the stuff already stocked up before any quarantine was in effect. It's not as dangerous for those of us who regularly spend tons of times in our house as it is for people who literally go and get groceries every single day, which I know that like some people, like my mom, it's like every day they're going to pick up more groceries, and I'm like, oof.
I'm just watching Andrew telling jokes in chat and trying not to giggle.
I mean, if I can't shitpost out loud, I'm gonna shitpost in the chat.
You have my explicit permission to shitpost out loud whenever you feel the need to. But yes, no pooping in the Coinstar. Thank you.
No, thank you. Someone has to establish some sort of rules.
That's right. That's right.
Find ourselves.
The chaos we are subjecting ourselves is purely fictional tonight, and so no, I hope nobody encounters poop that they did not expect to encounter today. That's all I can hope for anyone. Just that's what I want. Yes. The internet. Well, we do only have 3 episodes remaining to us. So we had talked at the end of the last episode. I can't remember if it was on or off cam, but do we want to just do a like player focused episode set in Crossroads? Are we still feeling that?
Yeah.
Do a little prep, do a little checking the place out. Okay. Yeah. All right. Good. Okay. So
I just realized that because we only have 3 episodes left, I will not get a disorder during season 1 of the show. So I need all of
in episode number 1. I was like, this is a lofty goal, but
I need all of you to immediately subscribe so that we can get a season 2. I need this disorder. It's my life goal.
If you just get like 30.
Right, I could get a ton in one session.
I was gonna say this is gonna do some montaging.
Okay.
You know, there could be moments.
All right.
Right. So I'm gonna
Lucia becomes a serial killer.
I was gonna say I'm gonna go around and be like, okay, so Vander, you're gonna prepare your weapons and plan the assassination, and Dawn, you're gonna get some spells ready. Mr. Bolvadier, you're gonna make some social contacts. Lucia, what do you want to do? War crimes? Okay, yeah. Sure, you just invent mustard gas and you just become the mad gasser of Crossroads.
I'm sorry, if you burn down a tent with 300 people in it, how much corruption is that?
We talked about that. The Man of Steel corollary steps in and you just get it 1. You just get the regular.
And whoever laid out the tent without proper fire escapes, they get all the corruption.
Mm-hmm.
Liability.
No, I'm just thinking about trying to play this game, but corruption is managed by some kind of arcane Soviet rule system of who gets corruption for what. So whatever you do, you don't take any corruption, but someone lesser than you in the party, they take the corruption for you.
Okay. So you try and desecrate a holy place, but the person who gets the corruption is the one who like did a bad job running security or like fucked up the lock, so you were able to get into the holy place to desecrate it in the first place.
Or you could go the Catholic route and say you accumulate corruption your whole life, and then you have to make a piety check near the end, and if you fail, then you get all your corruption at once. But if you succeed, then you just get to go to heaven, and it's fine. You can also buy bonus rolls to receive the blessing, so you don't go to hell. But
2 gold coins a pop.
That's right. Unfortunately, in this world, Lucia, if you do want to achieve your goal of disorder, you're really gonna have to crank up the chaos behavior.
I am definitely running Lucia as a like, how can I get corruption? But I still think that the things that she does are like in character for the most part.
Yeah. You don't want to just suddenly become total.
I'm not gonna like go try and summon some kind of demon lord or chaos lord. But
you already have your own demonic chaos lord in the form of Mr. Bolvadier.
All right, Mr. Bolvadier, have you considered allowing me to strike a bargain with you?
Well,
you're a chaotic entity. I mean,
I am a chaotic entity, and now with this necromancer like tablet that I have in my fingertips, I don't know if it's necromancy per se. But I don't know. I think it depends on what he gets up to in his time. And
okay. Here's the thing. I want to GM this. I have the ability to.
Nobody needs me anymore.
I have the gambling skill, and that includes being able to cheat and count cards. So can I like bargain with you in that?
Mr. Bolvadier is still a human being and not a chaos god, so you're gonna have to wait.
Yet. I have plans.
We're in the town, the town of Crossroads, which sits astride the bridge between the northern and southern countries, and somewhere off to the east, hiding out in the woods, is the target of your hunt, the hawk in hiding somewhere in this area. So it's just a question of figuring out where and preparing yourselves to go and to deal with him. So I'm gonna pretty much just turn scene framing over to y'all for this episode. So, does anyone have a scene they would like to see? Anything you want to do?
I twiddle my fingers.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
All right.
Actually, I wanted to do it last time, but we just ran out of time.
Yeah,
So
I remember we were talking about it. So yeah, let's do that.
So basically, it's Vander and Dawn who just got done shopping.
Mm-hmm.
And I want it to be us walking back to the inn, like after we got done making whatever purchases we did.
Mm-hmm.
So you good with this, Andrew? Okay, cool. So as we're walking, you know, I'm imagining that Vander's like very like focused, has like been pretty much focused. Like we're gonna get here, we're gonna get there, we're gonna do X. And I think Vander might be actually walking like leading Dawn essentially. And Dawn will say, Vander,
yeah, and she turns back and looks kind of in that frustrated way of like, oh, what now? And like turns around.
Oh, I'm curious. I have a question. Would you mind if I asked you a question?
I mind that it's taken this long for you to ask.
Okay. So I'm just curious. You know, why are you doing this? Why are you in this line of work exactly? And you don't have to answer if you don't want to. I'm just curious.
I think we like the scene just hard cuts to the bar and we're at the table.
Okay. Let's talk it true.
It's just like, oh, okay, you want the story. All right.
Hard cut to the bar, Seinfeld sound sting. Boom, 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 boom.
And so yeah, you're like, why are you doing this? Why are you chasing? God, do I just do the whole backstory?
Please tell me your tragic backstory.
Yeah. It's a bit of the like cliched moment of like, yes, here's my tragic backstory for Vander. But I wonder.
Yeah. What would Vander share with Dawn, essentially?
I mean, there might be a roll too. Like if it would help, Dawn could roll charm, and that could let you know, Vander, how like
how much to open
just
up. To
give you a little bit of like a little bit of a run up to the conversation, right? So you know how to cage you feel like being.
Okay. That would be under good lord.
Fellowship, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did not wait, why is my difficulty at -20?
That's a great question.
No, it shouldn't be there. I lied. It's still not great.
Let me just fix that. And that's worse.
Oh well, that's worse.
All right, so you get an 85. So why? I'm gonna leave this on. I'm gonna leave this on Dawn. Why are you not being as charming as you might otherwise be? What is it about Dawn's questioning or Dawn's approach that might be like making it hard for Vander to want to open up?
I think it's her. To just play off of like the whole like why is it taken so long? I think it's just. Maybe it's because Vander has up to this point just been very irritated with how much Dawn has been like fumbling and is just kind of slower and making bad decisions. And it's like, why are you asking me this now? Like,
right. Yeah. All the way out here.
All the way out here. And we've worked together a couple times. And like, it's just her delivery is, not great. Just fumbling.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well then, Amber, would you be okay with Vander like flipping the question on Dawn?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so they're like sitting down and Vander has, gives some like curt answer of something like, well, it's personal in that these people took everything from me. Seems only fitting I take their lives. Owed at least that much. Don't have a home now. The war is settled and I am in the wrong country. So, and she just kind of like shrugs it off and just says, what I can't put a finger on is why you would be doing this. What part of your, and she kind of like gestures vaguely at you as like,
to
indicate like your religion or your spiritual practice. What part of your tenets insist you track down nobles and consign them to execution?
Well, much like you, I'm not from here. when I came down from the summit with the others, I thought things would be different. You know, I had heard stories, you know, from time to time about humans. And I didn't think such a terrible creature could exist. How could a being reject such a beautiful message and practices that could lead to harmony, peace, joy? But here you are, you do exist. And like this point, Dawn is starting to get really flustered. You know, I thought I could bring change. I thought I could heal. I could do something to bring inner peace to all of you. But I was a fool. You know, I spent time with a family as a consultant, you know, giving advice, sharing wisdom, and then they took my words, they took my practices, warped them, twisted them, poisoned them, slapped a price tag on them, and sold it to you. And at this point, like Dawn is like starting to get really like if you flash back to scenes ago when she was with Tender, like that rage she was starting to have with Tender about humans, that's starting to happen again. You know, it's funny, you know, I can tell that some part of you wants help, maybe deep down inside, but overall, the larger part of you just seems to want to destroy. So, you know, why am I here? Why am I doing this? Because I'm here. Because that's what you guys do. And if I'm going to survive this, which honestly, and then she starts to take her gloves off, I'm not well. And she takes her gloves off and like wipes away some of the soot, and you could see like her yellowed fingers. There's not something wrong with the dweller within me. And every waking hour, and she's like, I spend here with all of you is destroying me. And I can't go back. I can't go back. So again, why I'm here? Why am I doing this? Because that's what you guys do.
Well, if it's any comfort, it's killing me too.
I love this.
Slowly and surely. While
the two of you are talking, I can't help but think that the next thing Dawn is going to say is like, you know what I hate about this place? It's the smell. I feel saturated by it. I like Agent Dawn. It's good.
yes. So yeah, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this. What else am I going to do? And I've been looking for guidance, looking for answers. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And here I am, right here with you.
Well, I wish someone had told you sooner that trying to save us, and she kind of gestures very broadly, very sweepingly, was a lost cause. But
yeah, at a nearby table, there's a man passed out in a puddle of his own vomit, just like laying there like, oh.
I was foolish. I was naive.
And Vander doesn't say anything reassuring.
Yeah,
that's a notable silence.
True statement.
Yep.
And then I think she just like hard pivots back to business.
Okay.
Just like starts talking logistics of like, well, he can't be further than this many days away, and like we're gonna try to find people that like it just Vander just drops it and goes back to business as usual.
Dawn, are you willing to push?
I think Dawn will have some more time.
Alternately, if you want to take a minute to try to guess why Vander is being this way, right? If you want to take a minute to observe Vander, there might be some opportunity to be like, are you avoiding the topic because it's painful for you, or are you just trying to be secretive?
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a chance there if you want to do that first.
Sure. So that would be scrutinize.
Yes.
Yeah.
You may scrut Vander.
I'm too angry. Right. I riled myself up. Like I'm just like, fine. Let's focus. on the
Okay.
plan at hand. Yeah.
And so is that the scene, or is there like a moment of staying focused before Dawn goes back to the well? Like, do you think you ask again, or are you just like,
I think
fine,
maybe
human?
I think some time goes, maybe just as we're planning, and then I will say, I'll ask again. So basically it's, you seem very focused on this particular mission. Asking Vander, is there a reason outside of obviously the sum of money that we're going to be getting from this?
Yeah, and she was like in the middle of explaining something and has like a little map that she's made out of like a plate and a cup and something else. And she's like, and she like takes the cup from signifying something to now to like take a swig. Frankly, I don't see why you care. If we're all just doomed, human trash that are between you and your return to happiness, what does it matter what I want? Just another one in the masses. And if we're more than that, she shrugs. Look, all I'm saying is this job's the last one. If we do it right, survive, that's why I'm focused. This is our way out, right? For you, for me, all of us. There's nothing left after this. You think Bolvadir's gonna find his calling late in life and change? Me, for that matter, I made my living rubbing elbows with these people, and they're all dead now. So there's not much left for me either in terms of prospects. And you can tell that Vander is lying.
Okay. So you're not really hiding.
She's not telling you the thing, but you kind of know that there's more to it. But you haven't convinced her to, spill the beans.
Trying to decide if Dawn would keep pressing. I think she would.
Andrew, want to tell what's going on.
Yes, I know.
I need a reason, unfortunately.
I know. Why do you assume this is going to be our last?
There's no one left. I mean, they burned down the Flea and Flintlock too, for that matter, but before we went out on this one, the old man told me a few things, and she's referring to, gosh, what's his name? Mr. something or other.
Angus? I can't actually remember his name.
Yeah. But his title, he was like the Houndmaster.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, the old Houndmaster told me before we left that there are no contracts after this one. That's it. Last of the nobles. Last one that matters, anyways. Last one of consequence.
With nobles, and forgive me, I'm not 100% accustomed to your human hierarchy, but why has he lasted so long? Why is he the last?
Because he fucked off and hid in the woods. Years before this war even really hit its stride, and certainly before the revolution started. Everyone had half forgotten about him.
Was he well known to your kind? Was he one of the ones that you rubbed elbows with?
Yeah, and she like narrows her eyes a little bit. He was before my time.
Before your time, but it seems like Dawn's kind of picking up like body language stuff, I think, that you do know him, or he's at least some personal potentially connection with you. I can't tell. I mean, Dawn has a pretty high perception bonus. I don't know if you want me to roll to see if I would pick up on that or not, Adam, or if Andrew, you want to let it pass.
Yeah, I think, yeah, well, I'll say you have this one.
Okay.
And so Vander, like, looks as if she's kind of coming to a conclusion in her head about, like, what to say, and then, like, sighs. Well, yes, it's not just business. And I don't know him directly, but when I was growing up, there was this young woman whose mother, well, she had left and come back with a child with her. And, well, I didn't know at the time, but this hawk in hiding was her father. And her family had nothing after that. Her mother had nothing, disgraced, ruined in the eyes of her people, cause of a war. And she just like shakes her head. Well, that young woman, that friend of mine, this is for her, since she's not alive to kill him herself.
And so Dawn will go, I understand.
I mean, he's ruined a lot of lives, mine included. And she like leans back and puts her hands behind her head.
just committing a little vengeance, you know, for a friend.
Yeah, for a friend.
Committing for a friend.
So why shouldn't I want his neck?
I will be honest. I understand. I've been manipulated. I've been taken advantage of. That's all I need. Yeah. And so, yeah, Dawn won't press any further after that.
Mm-hmm.
I will help you with this last job.
Lovely. Only reason I started doing this was in the hope of finding him. His number was bound to come up eventually. I'm just glad we picked it. And she just like plants a knife in the table and then goes off to like do something. Just as a little bit of like punctuation.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
that's
so
a great scene end.
As I say, yeah, that sounds like the one, right? So thunk, you like put the knife in the table and walk away. And and then we cut away. So Mr. Bolvedier or Lucia or both, do you have a thing that you want to do? A scene you want to frame up? I know Mr. Bolvedier, you are spending most of this time resting, but we can have people come and visit you. You also can like walk around a bit, but yeah, I imagine that this through the course of this episode, provided nobody gets further injured, you know, we're covering the like recovery time and the planning. But yeah, Mr. Bolvedier, you know that what was his name? Jerry the Grinder wanted to talk to you. He was like,
yeah,
come to my shop.
And I think like over the course of however long that we're here, like at different moments, you'll see Mr. Bolvedier just like walking with less and less strain, because I think like that's the transition. Most of the time he's resting, but like when he's not, he's like at first with like crutches and then like with a cane. And then kind of like on his
own. Yeah. So each time there's a scene with Mr. Bolvedier, he's like slightly better than he was before.
Right. And so he goes to go see Jerry, I think, after spending like a couple days in bed. And yeah, he stops by his shop, which you remember because Jerry told him where it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Jerry's shop is just a ramshackle 2-story, stone and wood building at the edge of the bridge. And outside there is a rack with a bunch of like rusty and unsharpened tools, and then a big stone wheel that you run by moving your foot, and it spins around and grindstone like that. And then inside there's a bunch of like gently used equipment that you can buy, right? So he goes around buying people's like crappy tools they don't want anymore, and then polishing them up and getting them reasonably nice, and then selling them. So yeah, you get to this shop. and it doesn't look like Jerry's got a lot of customers today. But the door is open, so you're welcome to go inside.
Jerry, it's Belvedere. You told me to come by, and I close the door and like make my way in, just like trudging about.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, the inside it's like one step up from like Dad's gardening shed. Like it's just got a lot of like tools hanging off the walls, and they're in various states of repair. So you come in.
Do they seem to be in an order, or do they seem to be haphazardly? Like,
they're pretty haphazardly like thrown around.
Cool.
Yeah, it's like if it wasn't a dedicated building, it could very easily be like a stall at a flea market.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, when you come in, everything in here smells like rust. It's got that kind of like iron like tang in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear some noise in the back, and then you hear Jerry be like, I'm coming, hang on. And he steps into the room, and you watch the act kind of fall away, right? Like you watch him uncloak, because he walks in the room and he has this kind of slightly hunched effect and a bit of the like kind of darting eyes. And he's doing this as he comes in, but then he sees the doors closed and you're the only one here. And he just straightens up and like brushes himself off. And he says, I'm glad you came to see me. I was worried that you'd run off in search of the hawk without speaking to me first. I have something very important that I need to append to your mission. Come. And he turns around, he walks back into the other room.
My goodness, what a reveal. Is Jerry even your real name? Can we just like slow it down for a moment? And like follows him in and like sits down at the table.
Yeah, so in the back there is an office, and he's standing by a shelf with a bunch of like miscellaneous crap on it, and he reaches behind a pile of junk and he pulls a switch, and the shelf clicks back slightly. And he pushes it, and there's like a secret room behind it. There's like a stone room. And in that room, there is a table with some chairs around it. There's a bottle of whiskey and some empty glasses. And there's a big black like hanging cloth on the back with an eye and a pyramid on the cloth. And he says, step into my office.
Oh, I see. So that was also your cover. That mess that's out there, that's a part of this live. I see. All right. Well, maybe you could clean it up a little bit. Just
he chuckles and he says, when you're surrounded by pigs, you have to live in the mud. This is my assignment, and I've learned to live with it. Have a seat. You want a drink?
Thought you'd never ask. Please.
Okay, so there's that unmistakable squeak of a cork popping out of a bottle, and he pours 2 glasses of brown liquor.
No. Pour both of them into one, and then come over.
And he nods, and he's like, rough trip up here. And he pours the other glass, pours himself another glass. And he says, I've heard rumblings about what happened. The compound? I assume that was you and your friends?
My compatriots and I caught ourselves in a little more than we bargained for, and you know what? We're stronger for it, and thankfully alive through it.
Those people are maniacs. I don't know how anybody deals with them. I hate them.
Unbelievable. Who lets them take up an entire road? It's really like no government.
He says, well, he puts his hands out and he's like, these aren't the good old days, Mr. Belvedere. We don't have the forces to go and break up gatherings like this. And some of those smilers, they're making inroads in the council, but that's not what we're here to talk about. I'm getting off track. He drinks his whiskey, and he says, so you're still planning to go after the hawk once you're better?
It's a fair analysis, and seems to be the goal. I can't see why not. I mean, this is the one. Why? This is the one we want, of course.
More than you know. I need you to retrieve something for us. The hawk isn't the primary target. I mean, yes, we need him captured or dead, out of the way. It doesn't matter. But the real target, and this is privileged information, so only share it with your help if you have to. How much do you know about the story of the hawk leaving Philos?
Well, that moment, I couldn't have been more than 28, 29. From what I read about it, he had fallen in love and abdicated his duties as royalty for her sake, since she wasn't from ourselves, you know. Well, I mean, what else is there to the story?
It's like, that's more or less the gist of what everyone knows, that he fell in love with some foreign duchess or something, and because he wasn't allowed to wed, he left, went into exile, self-imposed, retained his divine lineage, but gave up his titles. But men like the hawk in hiding, they're accustomed to certain luxuries, and a man like that, fleeing his country, no more access to Mummy and Daddy's bank account. And now, with Mummy and Daddy and all the aunties and uncles dead, he's having to dip into the money he took. The former prince had friends in the church, and the church had been hoarding gold, mass sums of it, chests full, money that we could use to fix the problems we're having in Philos. We could hire an army, we could drive off the Smilers, everything would go back to some semblance of normal. But we need that gold, Bolvidir. I don't care about the hawk. I don't care about his strumpet foreign wife. I don't even care about the priest that stole from the church. We need that gold. And in exchange, a finder's fee. Say 5% of what's left. That should keep you in relative luxury for the rest of your natural life. Whether you want to share it with your friends or not, I'll leave that to you.
I think Belvedere takes all this in, drinks some of their drink.
It's bad. It's bad and cheap.
Ugh, God, really been living with the filth. My goodness. Ugh.
And he looks at you and shrugs, and he says, anything stronger and you have to get it from the man under the bridge. I wouldn't suggest it.
Well, Jerry, I guess that's what I'm going to call you. But from what you're saying, the hawk is the access key to the vaults of the kingdom. Or rather, somebody he's with is.
It would surprise me a great deal if they had any kind of vault where he's at. It's our understanding that he's hiding out in some former hunting lodge.
Mm-hmm. So, you just need me to figure out where the money is then, huh? Well, that's tough. To do this by myself would be a challenge, but I have help, as you've said, and they'll need to be brought in on this.
That's your decision.
Well, yes, and I'm making it. In order to achieve that, I'm going to need 15%.
Are we negotiating, Mr. Belvedere?
As Masood pulls up.
You're like, what is my
Bargain-
haggling skill? We've still got 5 points.
To bargain, Mr. Belvedere will say, well, there's already 2 offers on the table. What's your response?
I don't care how many people you split that gold with, but your reward is your reward. If you don't think that I'm offering enough, we can talk. So why don't you make a roll, and the two of you have a brief conversation about this, about trying to like convince him that it's worth more of a cut, and he's going to be like, listen, man, you're taking money out of the pockets of the people, which is the thing Mr. Belvedere, I'm sure, is fine with. Like, yes, open your pockets, people.
Yeah. Oh, this is not even the worst of it.
So what are you?
It's a critical success.
Did you get a crit? Nice. Yeah. Excellent. Okay. All right. So the two of you go back and forth about this gold, and and you settle on, because your original thing was 15, right? He said 5, you said 15. Let's land it on 20. Right. So you managed to talk him up to 20%. In exchange for, you don't have to bring it home. You just need to secure it somewhere. Mm-hmm. And then he gives you, I think he probably gives you something. It's clearly an alchemical, like flask of some kind. It's like a glass flask. Mm-hmm. And he gives it to you and he says, if you burn that and throw it in a fire, the smoke that it emits will be a very strange color. We'll be watching. When we see it, I'll send in the retrieval team.
Mm-hmm. And I've been thinking, and thank you, 20% seems accurate, but I feel like I'd be robbing from the other civilians of our home, and that feels unfair. So I'll give you 10% back, and you give me my land and title. Lord Belvedere, after this mission.
But you can't be nobility, then you'll be hunted.
So
it's a new era.
He looks at the table and he looks at you and he says, well, we can't go around calling you Lord Belvedere because you know what happens to lords this day and age, but there may be a position in the cabinet of illuminated masters that we could see fit to filling. There would be land, of course. Title to it. We'll make you a baron. How does that sound?
For now, amenable.
You're a true patriot, Mr. Belvedere.
Who are we but not for ourselves and for our country?
He glances at the big golden triangle thing on the wall and he just looks at it and he nods.
Well, Jerry, do you know anything about where he might be at his lodge? Any sort of guesstimation? Or at the very least, who in this town would know?
A lot of people come through here from both sides. Mm-hmm. Mostly criminals, exiles, people on the run. If you stay long enough, you're like to see one of his peregrines in town. I think you're familiar with them. That little dust up outside the Flea and Flintlock. They come in every once in a while, try to recruit for the cause, loyalists, people who've lost everything, that sort of thing, political dissidents. If you wait, they'll come looking. Get your hands on one of those. Tighten the screws hard enough, I'm sure he'll tell you everything you need to know.
Belvedere finishes his bad drink, sits down, and starts walking out and says, well, Jerry, this has been a delight, but it looks like I'll see you around. I'm going to be in town for a few days.
And as you go to leave, he puts a hand on your shoulder and like turns you around and like squeezes your shoulder and looks at you and he says, now I know I don't have to say this, but I'm going to. Just for the sake of having it said, don't even think about trying to take that gold. Don't even think about thinking about it. Don't let any of your friends dip their hand into the chest before you send the signal. Or you're going to end up just like the hawk, Belvedere. You don't want to be looking over your shoulder the rest of your life.
No, certainly not with my bad eye.
Good. I'm glad we agree.
And then I head back to the inn and I tell everybody about the main things about the gold.
Yeah, well we'll have a scene where everybody's back at the inn and you can talk about that. So so there you go, Mr. Belvedere. You get a chance to talk to that guy. Meanwhile, Lucia, dare I ask what you are doing to keep yourself occupied here in Crossroads?
Wow, I was gonna be doing nice, gentle things that nice, gentle people do. Wow.
I don't need to make a scrutinized check to know you're full of shit right now.
So firstly, I was thinking, the first night after my infection was treated, would I have been able to get 6 hours of uninterrupted sleep?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm unhindered. And the second thing is, before I leave the church, could I get another heal from Our Lady, the sister nun person?
You're gonna pay her this time?
If she looks at me weird, maybe.
Yeah, I think you're past the like, oh my God, my friend is dying, please save his life. And now you're like, I don't feel good. Can I have some aspirin? And
Yeah.
and she's like, you have to pay for it. But she never says that way, right? She's like, this is a house of healing for both the body and the spirit. But one must, as with any house, keep the roof intact. And that takes.
That's the end of the statement.
God wants your money, but also I do, so I can eat. Listen, laudanum ain't free, baby.
She won't use laudanum. It corrupts.
That's right. If you want laudanum, you got to go see the man under the bridge.
I'm gonna look at how much bandages would cost, because I don't want to be like, have a gold, and then it's like, wow, thank you so much for your generosity.
Like a honey pot has 9 uses and it's 3 silver pieces, I think. Yes.
I don't know.
So they're pretty cheap.
Yeah, like what would Lucia, I think that she would just like, at first she would take out like whatever, like wherever there's the like tray or what have you. I don't remember how much I took from the old god.
2 silvers and 20 brass pennies, because it still upsets Mr. Beaufort.
I don't think it was 20. I don't even have 20 brass pennies.
It was definitely 2 silver and some other amount of brass pennies.
Yeah. How heretical exactly were you?
Well, Lucia will take the same 2 silver that she has in her pocket from just having taken it from the old gods, and she will place it in whatever receptacle is available.
Somewhere,
literally the same coins.
Somewhere up in heaven, the god emperor is nudging some pagan god like, haha, sucker. Cool. So you're making an offering transference.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And then I would look at her and be like, so is that, I don't know.
And she looks at the coins that you gave her and she says, whatever your little heart thinks is appropriate.
Vague.
So she just lets the guilt hang in the air for a second, and then she puts it in her pocket and she says, let's have a look at you. And she sits you down and she's gonna try to tend to your wounds. So let's see, what did I say the nun has?
55.
55. That's right.
And I'm at seriously wounded, so that's 0% standard.
Here we go. Rolling that D100.
Boop. Swear to God.
Survey says, woof, 94.
Can I use a thing to re-roll it, please?
You want to use a Masood point? Okay.
I would like to not be seriously injured.
Okay, here we go. Second attempt. 99.
Dude!
It's a critical miss. So what happens is
I'm infected again.
Oh no. So she's like, she takes your bandage off. She's like, oh dear. Where have you been? Getting into pit fights in a sewer? And
someone spat piss at me.
Oh dear, you know that's not where that comes from.
I know.
And so she's like, oh dear. And she makes the, are we gonna have to amputate face?
No.
And
can we just try with the leeches again? It worked last time. It didn't feel as hot.
She's like, dear, leeches don't just grow on trees. And she like toddles over to her shelf to go find
grow in swamps.
That's right.
Well, if you weren't so goddamn bad at this, still better than literally anyone in the party.
So she comes back over and she's like, all right, lie down.
Sorry, Blue Jay, I didn't roll up a doctor on the random table. I'm sorry. Okay?
Yeah, it's not anyone's fault in this case.
Sorry, Mom, I rolled a servant. I can't be like my brother, the doctor surgeon. Okay.
The surgeon, doctor, lawyer.
Ooh, too real.
That's the triple threat right there.
Yep. So so she comes back with the jar and she reaches in with her little tongs and she's like, "Oh look, little dear, it's your old friend Lucia. Time for dinner," and bloop, sticks it on you and you get leeched. So how does that work again?
It's a challenging heal test.
Okay, so she's got to make the same test.
Yeah, but challenging.
Meaning what? Less 10 or more?
Extra 10% harder.
Okay, here we go.
She would just
She gets a 53, which is a fail because of the 10%, right?
What the? Okay, so 1 second. If it's failed as it's not a critical failure.
Not a critical fail.
No recovery. God, is it okay if I spend another one?
You spent one already. Might as well.
Yeah. Can I please?
Yeah,
I just don't.
Demands
That's right.
I just don't want to have my arm fall off.
Sink that cost. Okay, ready? Here we go.
Please, Adam.
Another critical fail. The same critical fail, in fact.
I lose 6% brawn.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
Oh God.
So
Guys, just watch. I'm gonna get another critical.
the leeches get a lot of blood out of you. You spend the next several hours feeling dizzy and confused.
Fuck you, Adam.
So yeah, what does this mean?
I am at 36 brawn now.
Okay, so you're feeling weak and fucked up.
Yeah.
But it clears the infection, right?
No.
Okay,
no,
you're
it
still
does
infected.
not.
Good. Okay.
And I think the thing is that like Mr. Belvedere, like maybe were you moved after the first night from the church to go and be back at the inn because you're gonna be bedridden or whatever?
Yeah, I think now like someone or like some way I got brought back, and now I've just been like staying at the inn and like.
Yeah, and I think the thing is like Mr. Belvedere goes back after the first night of rest, and Lucia doesn't for some reason. Like she's still at the church. Would anyone like go check on her, or is it just like she's probably out drinking or something? Here
it is. Does anyone else in the party care about Lucia enough to be like, it's been a day and a half, maybe someone should go look for her?
I think Mr. Belvedere will, particularly because after meeting with,
I mean, this is only like the second day. You probably can't walk.
Well, that's true. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, because that's the
like
thing.
I love that you would check on me. I think that's wonderful.
So
but...
Mr. Belvedere thinks of it. Mr. Belvedere, do you tell someone else? Are you like, I can't leave my bed? Who would you ask to go check on Lucia?
I think I'd probably tell.
Right? It's not an easy question to answer.
I guess Dawn.
I love Lucia, but she's not very good at making friends.
Yeah, because I only because I don't know where Vander and Lucia's relationships at. You know what? Actually, I probably
Clifford.
I'd talk to Vander. I think I would ask her.
Okay, so let's cut to that. So Vander, you come back from doing something and you find Mr. Belvedere recuperating, but he looks concerned. There's a look on his face.
Vander, now where have you seen? I've been back now for a few days and resting as doctor's orders, but you've seen me. Dawn has come to see me to bear her good wishes. Is Lucia mad at me? Did I do something to her? Like, she still hasn't come to see if I'm doing okay, if I'm better.
It's because you forgot to thank her for murdering you.
Right. I don't know. I don't get it. And I thought maybe you might.
She's been out of sorts ever since our time at the camp.
Well, could you get her? I think I owe her quite an apology. You know what? She's a gentle soul, and killing me was a very traumatic experience for her. And I would like to just bury this like I would my ex-body. Really, truly.
I'll track her down.
Yes.
So Vander heads out to find where the fuck Lucia is.
Mm-hmm. Where's the first place you look?
Bars and gambling halls are where Vander starts.
Okay. Nobody has even seen, like, you give descriptions of Lucia and no one has seen her. There's really only the one bar, which you live above right now. Yeah. She's definitely not downstairs or passed out in the kitchen or on the bridge out front. and you ask around, and nobody's seen her in the
I
places you
didn't
would
even
expect.
have time to gamble
That's
once.
right.
So, Adam, can I use this as an opportunity to do a different thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Totally.
So, like, under the pretense of looking for Lucia around town, Vander is also scoping the place out, trying to find where, loyalists to the deposed monarchy might hang out and other such.
Yeah. You want to make a rumors test?
Yes, I would like to do that.
All right. You have to listen to the entire album first, though. You can't just listen to one song.
No.
You're like, no, deal's off.
Done.
I don't actually catch the reference, so I'm
Yeah, that's fair.
somehow immune.
Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, it's a Fleetwood Mac album.
Okay, I mean, it could be worse.
I mean, it's
All
got a
right,
couple of
so
good songs on it. Like
Do I get
Dreams
any
is
kind
on
of
there.
situational modifier or anything?
No, I think this is just a flat rumors roll.
Okay, I'm not very good, but let me just double check.
Yeah, see if you have any modifiers or abilities that change it.
Could I have offered help in any capacity to this? Like if it were, if you-
not
now,
from
like,
not from your bed, I don't think.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this is prior to me getting well enough to go see.
Yeah.
Jerry.
Yeah,
Yes.
that scene we're going full Westworld. Who knows what scenes are in what order? It doesn't matter.
I just wanted to have some
It
kind
turns
of
out, Mr.
feeling.
Belvedere, that conversation that you had was 14 years ago.
Turns out I'm a robot.
You've been searching for the gold all this time.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't think any of my stuff matters for this version.
For
of
rumors.
Yeah.
I have worldly, which is when gossiping or spinning a tale, I get plus 20 base chance.
Yeah, that's
That
more
count
like
there?
spreading rumor or like affecting what people like. If you wanted to
It's
spread a
supposed to
rumor
be-
of
So here, let me read the
yeah,
full
read the whole
text,
thing
actually.
for me.
You are highly knowledgeable about the world around you and the world at large, having either traveled or read widely.
Yeah.
You're innately friendly with people. You're innately friendly and people enjoy your company. So I have one of those faces. I'm trustable.
Yes,
People are just
yeah.
like, oh, Vander, you're one of us always.
Mhm.
So I feel like it does apply here.
Yeah, sure. Fuck it.
And it's enough to get me a pass on the
Yeah, is it a
test.
flip to succeed?
Well, it would bump me to a 75,
Nice. Okay.
and I rolled a 72. So.
There you go. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. So yeah, you're asking about peregrines in town, right? Servants of the Hawk.
It's all kind of veiled under me looking for Lucia and like, oh, my friend, blah, blah, blah. She's fallen in with the wrong crowd. Like,
Yeah.
she kind of is like leveraging some truth, like
So-
a kernel of truth to spin this.
So
lie out of.
here's what I think ends up happening, right? Is that the questions you're asking get people draw the wrong conclusion, because what happens is people will tell you first place these hawks go is the church. Whenever they show up, right? The hawk servants, the peregrines, they go to the church, and usually that's where they hold meetings. They have something over the nun that lives there, because she lets them, but every time they leave, she tears down their posters and like throws them away, right? And so they're like, if you're looking for a peregrine, I think there's one staying in the church right now. One of the hawks, warriors is injured, and we saw her at the church.
Wait,
Huge
what?
hulking brute of a woman.
Oh, what?
Right. So I kind of stumble into
Yep.
finding Lucia on accident.
Mhm.
I'm not any hawk warrior.
And so I land myself at the church.
Yeah. Yep. So you come back around to the church, and
Lucia has a fever.
yeah, I mean, you don't even see Lucia right away. You come in, and I think probably you hear the nun upstairs talking quietly, and she's like, "Oh dear, just lie still. We'll see what we can do for you. Just get some rest." And then some like shuffling around upstairs.
Yeah. And so I creep up the stairs very quietly.
Mhm.
And like check things out.
Yeah, you want to try and sneak up on this nun?
Sure. I mean, let's see if I do. It's not super important to me, but
Yeah,
I think it
but
would be funny.
might be fun. Yeah,
Let's do it.
exactly.
I would like to observe her without her knowing, if only for a moment.
Okay.
Stealth. There it is.
Give yourself a 10% bonus on this. Make it 10% easier, because she's in the midst of worrying about Lucia dying. She's in the midst of trying to decide whether she can cure the soul before the body dies or, like.
Well, I just barely fail.
Okay, so she hears you on the stairs and she says, who's there?
I'm looking for a friend of mine.
She turns to you, Lucia, and she's like, unless your friend's an old nun or you've come to pray, you're not like to find what you're looking for here.
Yeah, and I think Vander like draws a knife very quietly, like just has it ready and just says, spend a lot of time talking to yourself.
And I think that this is happening at two ends. She's at the top of the stairs. You're at the bottom, and there's a landing in the middle, so you can't see each other. You're just talking.
Like I keep going up.
Yeah, and she says, "This is a house of God, child. Who else do you think I'd be talking to?" And you come around the corner, you see her, and she's standing at the top of the stairs. And Lucia, you're too like woozy to have seen this. She's holding a sword. So she just has it in her hand. Like she's gonna use both hands to hold it, and she's holding it as you come around the corner. She looks down at you. Now, Vander, you haven't met her before, right? She definitely doesn't recognize your voice, but you weren't here for the scene before.
No,
okay.
no.
So she sees you. Are you hiding the knife from her?
The knife is like, I'm not like brandishing it, but it's in my hand.
Okay. So she looks at it and she looks at you and she says, if you're here to do violence, it won't go well for you. I've been robbed before. Never twice by the same people.
Not here for your money. I'm here after those others who come with violence in their hearts. Not for you, for the rest of us.
There's a role here to be made.
Yep.
Definitely. Yeah. Seems like charm to me.
Yeah. I'm like, no, we're friends. I'm not trying to deal with those bad people you don't like that I mysteriously know about. Any effect here?
I mean, you have like secret knowledge that is putting like it's making it easier to put her off balance, but also she's trying to protect Lucia because she thinks when you're like others who do violence, she thinks that Lucia was attacked and is fleeing from assassins or whatever, and thinks you're here to finish the job. So,
but here's the thing, Adam: is she have a different social class than I am?
What social class are you?
Lowborn.
What would she be? And is it? You can't change
It's
your
lowborn,
class,
burger,
right?
and aristocrat or whatever, and that's just what you're born into. Your social classes. I don't think there's any profession.
Is there something lower than lowborn?
If you become a peasant, it immediately bumps you to lowborn from whatever else you were.
I don't think that
there isn't anything lower than lowborn.
It's just 3.
Okay, so no, you are the same.
The
you are the same then if you are also lowborn.
Damn.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I think it all things being equal, it's just a flat roll. Ooh, nice work. That's 16. Okay.
Yeah,
so
and I think to punctuate this, she like puts the knife away.
Yeah. So the nun, she lowers the sword because goddamn it's heavy and she's old, and so she lowers the tip. She doesn't let it go, but she says, "So you're not here to hurt the girl?"
No, but if those that you've been harboring should happen by, we're not exactly friends with them, and I would like my friend alive.
Yes, well, it has been a while since that flock of blaggarts was around here. Come upstairs. Your friend's not well.
And like Vander will come along, but she keeps pressing for more information. So she's like, well, when was the last time? And how often do they come?
You should be much more concerned about the state of your friend's life than whatever political entanglements you've gotten yourself wrapped up in.
My friend's life depends just as much on politics as it does on her condition.
Yes, hers and mine and yours and everyone else's.
Indeed.
And so she walks you over to Lucia lying in this bed, like just soaked with sweat. Probably like your brain is boiling a little, so you're probably like mumbling to yourself, like full on. And you can see and you can smell like the bad wound, right?
I lost permanently 6% of my brawn. That's so much.
Hey, when I had the flu, I lost like 5% of my body weight.
Okay,
to
but
the
that's not
press.
permanent.
Honestly,
You can get that back.
it's hard work. You could get the brawn points
your
back.
brawn back.
No. Have you seen anything in this game, in this text, that gives you back your base?
There are some advancements that can increase your stats later, but yes.
How Lucia got her brawn back.
So the nun looks at your friend, looks at you, sees that you're making the appropriately like, oh, this is messed up face, and she says, all we can do for the time being, if you're on the run, is pray. Pray to the God Emperor that he will turn his face beneficently our direction and turn his ass straight towards your enemies. But I find that prayer is only a tiny piece of getting shit done around here, so I've done everything I can for her. I'm going to have to suggest that you find other means of assisting the poor dear.
Well, I'll see what I can do. Is she stuck here for now?
I don't think it would be safe to move her. But keep an eye on the road. If you see any suspicious goons wandering around, goons you don't recognize, come here and tell me right away. Because if you're on the other end of these royalists and they find out she's here, they'll kill her. I can lie to them. I don't mind doing that. I've done it before. I don't like them very much. It might be nice to turn them away, but they don't take no for an answer easily. You've put me in a bad spot. Worse than usual.
Well, I managed not to get myself stabbed at least, so you have that to be grateful for. And like Vander is like already leaving.
Yeah, and she says to you as you go, she's like I told your dying friend, leeches aren't cheap. This church isn't a charity, you know.
Yeah, Vander will mutter something to herself about how this church shouldn't even still be standing and make her way out of it.
Yeah, and then you just walk off.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. She scowls and mutters something about a lack of generosity in kids today and goes back to tend to Lucia.
Yeah.
Can I make some sort of test? Because Vander didn't speak to me or even really come over. Can I make some sort of test to see if I was aware enough to know that Vander visited me?
Oh, would you like to make a saving throw against a broken heart? Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
There's no saving throw for heartbreak.
Do you think that the fever would make it more difficult, or
whatever the mechanical penalties are for being as fucked up as you are?
There's no mechanical penalties for having like it's not an injury.
Okay.
This is definitely a resolve test.
It's awareness.
Oh, this is awareness.
Well, yeah,
heartbreaking was resolved.
Yeah.
Oh, the heartbreak. I have to know.
Yeah. If you succeed at the awareness test, then you can make a resolve test. And if you fail that, then you
then you're
must,
brokenhearted. Yeah.
You must make the Arthur fist at
Okay,
your broken heart. Okay, so you're too gooned at. So what do you remember? What does your fever brain remember of this situation? A beautiful angel descends down from heaven to lay her hand upon your face.
I think the thing that I remember is like some kind of weird fever dream about this like ancient black-clad woman wielding a sword. Like
Battle nun, okay.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that like sticks in my head because Vander, like, she just walked over, took a look, and then left, right?
Yeah.
But the nun was standing like fairly still.
Yeah, so you missed Vander altogether.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how can you get better? What is needed?
So the infection needs to be reattempted to treat within 24 hours, or I lose another 1% brawn every 24 hours thereafter until it's been successfully treated.
Okay. Cool. How much do leeches cost?
Let me check. I'm not sure. That would be in trappings.
So Vander's plan, by the way, is to go get Dawn as backup and then go find the dude under the bridge and
yeah, that's reasonable.
make
Bottle
some
of
kind of
leeches
arrangement.
is 3.
Don't go see the bridge, dude. I
silver.
want to get my mushroom tested. I want to see what his digs are.
So there's Dawn saying there's 9 uses in 1 bottle of leeches and it's 3 silver.
Okay, so she has 1 bottle of leeches and you have made her use 2. Let's see. I'm gonna roll.
Okay.
To see if To see
Like
if
how
there's-
used
how
it was
ma-
before.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
how, exactly. How many times she had to leech somebody prior to this?
So that'd probably be 1d7 then.
Well, I don't
Because-
think it's empty, right? Like this wasn't the
Mhm.
last.
No,
of
I mean
them.
rolling 1d7 because we've already used 2, or maybe 1d6 if you want it specifically not to be the last of them, right?
Yeah, I was thinking a D4 plus 1. So I'm gonna roll that.
Hmm.
Okay, all right. So she's used 7 of her 9 leeches.
Good.
So okay, she's got 2
Well,
days worth of
We're
leeches.
going to a river, right? That's under a bridge. There's some leeches.
They're not
down there.
medicinal grade leeches.
Come on,
But
man.
That's
good
not gonna.
enough.
That's not gonna help if you get double
I don't know
infected.
how slow.
This
the
is how
river
much. See, this
so-
is why we go see the old man. He can tell you which leeches are good and which mushrooms are bad.
Don't worry, Lucia. I found this leech in the river. Mr. Belvedere, that's a trout. Very good.
Think about how much blood it can leech off. Oh my goodness!
Quickly, trout. Save Lucia. Put a
Just
trout
slap
on the wound.
a fish on.
We just all have fishes.
Yeah, exactly. Dump the
Dumping
herrings
them
on
on.
her. Fish medicine. It's the best kind. So, all right. So, Vander, you leave knowing that Lucia is not doing well.
God,
And
fucking 2 crit failures. I blame you.
fair. I used to be good at RPGs. So, Vander, you return to the where is Dawn when Vander?
Oh,
when-
at the inn. Definitely at the inn.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, Dawn, you see Vander come in, and what's the look on your face, Vander? Are you angry? Are you
Yeah, she
Focused.
doesn't look like worried or upset. She looks put upon,
right?
irritated,
Inconvenienced.
inconvenienced,
And so yeah,
and she just like motions for you to come over. Like doesn't even want to step in the room very far.
and so Dawn will walk over and just looks at the face, Evander's face, and goes, "Uh-oh, what's wrong with Lucy? What's wrong with Lucy?" Without even
Is something wrong with Lucy? You hear like Mr. Belvedere like shout from
Look
the
at
bed.
Mr. Belvedere is
Oh, no.
Grandpa Joe from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate
Right now.
Factory.
Got a
Lucy-
long slip on,
Yeah.
top to bottom.
I definitely have been envisioning Mr. Belvedere as having one of those old timey sleeping caps,
caps,
and then
yeah.
a big gown,
Yeah,
a striped gown. Yeah,
just a little bell every time.
slippers.
yeah. I Dawn knows this face.
Yeah, and Vander
So-
doesn't respond to Belvedere's question. She just kind of like growls under her breath a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You and me need to go under the bridge and talk to a strange old man, get something to help Lucia keep her alive. Because if she dies, well, we're one set of hands short. Simply won't do. It's fun. And she like pivots and heads out the door.
Well, Dawn turns to or shouts, "Going out to the bridge man now."
Take my
And then-
mushroom. Go have it looked at. Just ask him if it's any good. I don't know if I need to micro dose this or like take it in one setting. That's all I want to know.
Okay, and yeah, Dawn will take the mushroom, and we'll follow Vander out.
Excellent. Okay.
So along the way, Vander's just like, I don't know what this man does or is capable of, which is why you're here, to make sure he's not just bullshitting us.
Okay, so is he so a healer of some sort? Is this man's deal like?
Yeah, and she like stops in the street and turns, and like looking up at you just says, he's some crazy man who lives under a bridge. But
Okay.
He's the next best thing we've got to a fucking
Somehow
Someone's
the nun
man.
critically failed twice. It's insane.
So Vander goes on a brief rant about how this town sucks and everything in it
I-
sucks, and our choices are between someone's old grandma and their shitty grandpa who lives under the bridge, both of whom are probably incompetent, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then we are at the
bridge.
hole of this man under the bridge. Like, what does he live in?
Yeah. Okay. So probably you walk to the far end of the bridge, all right, and there's this little set of rickety stone stairs that go down the side of the bridge. And if you head down that way, you can see that this river used to be, and everybody kind of knows this, that this river used to be much like wider. And so now it's like a couple of meters of like stinky mud on either side. And then the river itself, which is real slow and very like brown. And under the bridge, once you get to the bottom of this long staircase, you can see that there is a little wood shack put together, jammed up under the side of the bridge. Outside, tied to a stick, is a tiny mangy looking dog that's like more mud than dog, and it's just running around in circles, digging itself further and further into the soft ground underneath. So there's like mud everywhere and this filthy mud dog. And then there's a little hut, and and there's just like smoke coming out of the chimney of this hut, and it's just sitting there as you get to the bottom of the stairs.
I give Mud Dog an extremely wide berth and make my way to the door of the hut.
Yeah, Mud Dog barks at you a bunch of times as you come by, but not in like a get away from here way, just in a like, a person, bark, 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 bark. Yeah, it like runs as fast as it can towards you, and then hits the end of the rope and like, and then falls down in the mud, and then gets back up and then just like bark, 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 like trying to get your attention as you head for the shack.
Yeah, pointedly, no eye contact with the dog. Just go to the door, knock on the door.
Okay, all right. So you come to the door and you tap 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 on the door, and and then we hear the creak of the door opening from the other side, and I think that's where we'll grab our break. And when we come back, we can meet the infamous Hermit of Underbridge, and see how option number 2. Let's see how the B team for healing.
How many crit fails can this
Blue Jays gangrenous entirety?
Also, check out his supply. Maybe he's my plug while I'm in this town. I might be here for a while. I gotta know.
I just don't want to be grievously injured. I mean, I was gonna die.
How many episodes was Dawn unconscious for like a good
a
portion?
lot.
Like half of the series.
Let's see, what episode is this? Yeah. It's actually a secret RPG content creator trick. You get on a show, get your character knocked out for 5 episodes. Free money. You can check your email. You can do all that other work you've been meaning to do.
A lot of that cool sketching I'm already doing. We see you.
It's perfect. All right. Stick around. We're going to take a short break here. And when we come back, it's off to Underbridge. Don't go anywhere. More Zweihander right after this.